Do you wake up 3 times a night to urinate? You may think it's just age, but there's a hidden secret quietly draining your nights and stealing your energy. I am Dr. Ana Esperanza, a medical specialist in men's health. Today I will reveal what science almost never tells you about 3 common fruits that seem harmless, but carry a dangerous effect if eaten at the wrong time. Write in the comments, "I want my peaceful nights." If you stay until the end, you will uncover the invisible window that can decide between serene nights or nights of torment. Many men grow used to believing that waking up in the middle of the night is inevitable, a natural price of aging. But that is not entirely true. There is something deeper and far more unsettling behind this silent habit that robs your nights. And the strange part is that the answer may lie in the most ordinary fruits, the ones you see every day at your local market. We are not talking about expensive medications or secret lab formulas, but resources so simple and accessible that people overlook them. And it is precisely in that simplicity where the mystery hides. The first of these hidden allies is the banana. For many, it seems absurd to imagine that such a common fruit could influence sleep and bladder function. Yet the human body responds to biochemical details we rarely connect to daily life. The potassium and magnesium in bananas do not just act on the muscles you feel when climbing stairs, or when a sudden calf cramp wakes you up in agony. These minerals also reach the internal muscles you never see, the ones quietly controlling your bladder. When that musculature is tense or irritated, the bladder sends false urgency signals, forcing you out of bed at night. It is like a broken alarm that goes off for no reason. Eating a ripe banana at the right moment calms that musculature and reduces those false alarms. It seems simple, but that is exactly what makes it so disturbing. How can something so ordinary hold such hidden power? And that is not all. Bananas also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that the body converts first into serotonin and then into melatonin. You may know serotonin as the neurotransmitter of well-being. Melatonin, however, is the invisible guardian of the sleep cycle. When these substances align, the body recognizes that it is time to shut down and sink into deep rest. But here is the hidden twist. Eating a banana at the wrong time can backfire. Its natural sugars may convert into immediate energy, and instead of sleep, you are left restless. That is why it is not enough to know what to eat, but also when to eat it. And that piece of information rarely makes its way into ordinary medical conversations. Consider the story of a fictional patient, drawn from countless real-world cases. Mr. Miguel, 70 years old, arrived exhausted, complaining he got up 4 times every night. On top of that, he suffered from relentless cramps. When he decided to try eating a ripe banana 1 hour before bed, everything changed. Within days, he noticed a dramatic difference. Nearly uninterrupted nights, no cramps, and true recovery. This is not magic, but pure biochemistry, a dance of minerals and neurotransmitters hidden in plain sight. The second fruit is the pear. Modest, humble, often forgotten compared to flashier options. Yet it is precisely its apparent insignificance that makes it dangerous and powerful. Unlike a hurried glass of water before bed, the pear contains what some scientists call structured water. This water, trapped inside its fiber, does not flood the bladder all at once. Instead, it releases gradually, hydrating the body in a controlled way throughout the night. The result? Balance without punishment. Think of it as a silent drip feed that keeps the system stable while you sleep. Many men commit the error of drinking large glasses of water right before bed, believing they are protecting their health, when in reality, they are setting themselves up for multiple awakenings. The pear, consumed at the right time, does the exact opposite. It hydrates without betrayal. And there are more hidden layers. Pears are naturally low in acidity, which means men with sensitive bladders tolerate them better than citrus fruits. Many believe that oranges or fresh juices are harmless nighttime options, but they overlook the irritating effect on the bladder lining. Doña Carmen, 68 years old, inspired by numerous real-life accounts, suffered burning sensations every time she ate oranges in the evening. When she switched to pears, the transformation was immediate. No irritation, no urgency, no constant fear that sleep would be cut short. The disturbing part is how violently the body can react to tiny choices, and how most people never notice that the invisible enemy was sitting in their own kitchen. And then comes the grape, perhaps the most enigmatic of the trio. Small, sweet, seemingly harmless, yet loaded with a substance few realize: natural melatonin. Very few fruits have it, but grapes, especially the dark-skinned ones, do. Eating a handful at night sends a clear signal to the body. It is time to sleep. But here lies the dark side. The melatonin in grapes acts like a key that unlocks the sleep cycle. But combined with the wrong habits, late caffeine, heavy dinners, excess fluids, it becomes a broken key, incapable of opening the door to rest. Having the right piece on the wrong board means nothing. The resveratrol in the grape skin is a potent antioxidant, protecting the heart and calming low-grade bladder inflammation. But if the body is already inflamed by alcohol, stress, or weight issues, the effect vanishes. It is like trying to put out a fire with a glass of water. Mr. Raphael, another fictional character inspired by countless testimonies, learned this firsthand. At 72, he complained of waking up 3 or 4 times every night. When he began eating a small handful of dark grapes before bed, he noticed changes in less than 2 weeks. Relief, calmer nights, sometimes not even a single awakening. But this victory lasted only once he adjusted the rest of his habits, reduced late fluids, eliminated afternoon coffee, avoided heavy dinners. Grapes were not the magic bullet, only the missing piece in a larger puzzle. And that is exactly what most never realize. It is not just what fruit you eat, but how you integrate it into your nocturnal ritual. Now imagine their combined power. Banana, pear, and grape together form a cocktail of minerals, fiber, melatonin, and antioxidants that can feel like a blessing. And it can be, but only inside the invisible window almost no one knows about. This natural cocktail can relieve your nights, or, if used incorrectly, amplify your torment. Here lies the paradox. The same key that could lock the door of suffering may also open it, if you turn it the wrong way. And here comes the disturbing question. If such ordinary fruits carry hidden power, what else in your daily routine may be sabotaging your rest without you realizing it? Perhaps the true enemies of your night are not outside, but hidden within your habits, disguised as innocent choices. But this is only the surface. So far, you've seen how 3 simple fruits seem to carry unexpected power over your nights. But what almost no one admits is that each benefit can turn into a trap if consumed the wrong way. The same banana that relaxes your muscles can overload your body with sugar if eaten in excess, especially for those with unstable blood sugar. Many men, eager for faster results, believe that more is better. But the body doesn't work that way. Too much potassium can upset the heart's rhythm, particularly in those taking certain medications. What once looked like a path to restful nights can instead become the silent trigger of something much worse. The pear also has its hidden side. That so-called structured water, which seems like a blessing, can turn into torment when combined carelessly with other fluids. It's a common mistake. Many assume a calming tea before bed is always good, but some infusions are diuretics, forcing the bladder even harder. The result, instead of sleeping soundly, they wake up more often. This cruel contradiction fools them into thinking they're protecting their health, when in fact they're sabotaging it. And the grape, small and seductive, carries the most treacherous risk of all: sugar. Even though it contains natural melatonin, it also carries glucose capable of spiking blood sugar during the night. For men with insulin resistance or diabetes, that seemingly harmless choice can provoke sudden awakenings, racing heartbeats, or even cold sweats at 3 a.m. What should have been calm becomes alarm. And the most disturbing part? Few men connect the dots. They simply think, it's just aging, never realizing that the fruit, eaten at the wrong time, planted the trigger for their torment. But there's an even darker layer. It's not just about the fruit, but its interaction with medication. Diuretics, prescribed for high blood pressure, can multiply urinary urges. Prostate drugs can shift hormone balance, making the bladder more reactive. A body already under stress responds in unpredictable ways. What once looked like a harmless bedtime routine may quietly become a dangerous game with invisible consequences. Few people know the story of an experiment conducted in the 1980s at a forgotten sleep clinic in rural Spain. The study was never widely published, because the results raised more questions than answers. A group of researchers tracked older men who ate specific fruits before bed. What they discovered was unsettling. While some reported incredibly calm nights, others suffered the opposite: more awakenings, restless dreams. When the scientists dug deeper, they realized the difference wasn't the fruit itself, but the timing. Those who ate within a 45 to 60-minute window before bed improved. Those who ate earlier or later suffered chaotic effects. The study was shelved as inconclusive, yet its shadow lingers, an unspoken reminder of the hidden patterns that rule the night. That forgotten story serves as a warning. It's not just what, but when. The body is a clock, and the wrong moment can turn an ally into an enemy. Imagine how many men still repeat the same mistake, unaware of the invisible line that separates calm from chaos. And the risks don't stop there. Many think that pairing these fruits with honey, sweetened yogurt, or light desserts will enhance the benefits. In reality, that mixture becomes a sugar bomb, spiking metabolism and forcing more urine production. The deep sleep your body craves gets shredded into fragments. The body remains on alert, unable to surrender to rest. Another silent trap: salt. Men who eat salty dinners, cured meats, aged cheeses, processed soups, unknowingly set themselves up for disaster. Excess sodium retains fluid during the day, forcing the kidneys to flush it out at night. It's like opening floodgates just when you should be sinking into deep sleep. Eating the right fruit won't matter if your meal was loaded with hidden salt. And then there's the mind. Stress, silent and merciless, can sabotage even the best nighttime ritual. The body in alert mode releases adrenaline, which stimulates the bladder. Many believe relaxation means simply lying down quietly, but an agitated mind can mimic the same effect as a diuretic drink. Going to bed with worries is like inviting an invisible enemy to share your pillow. All these details paint a disturbing picture. The line between healing and harm is razor thin. What you consider a healthy act may be the very thing fueling your nightly torment. The problem isn't just waking to urinate. It's what that means for your heart, your memory, your energy. Every awakening cuts into deep sleep, the very process your body relies on for repair. It's a silent theft, leaving you weaker by day. Most ignore these risks because they cling to the illusion of simplicity, but it's that same naivety that chains them. Eating without thought, drinking without measure, trusting chance. The night becomes a battlefield where bladder, kidneys, heart, and mind fight a quiet war, and you are the casualty, tired, confused, more vulnerable with each dawn. If even fruits can turn into traps, what else in your routine is quietly draining your vitality? That question is what keeps the suspense alive, because there is no easy answer. And remember, everything revealed so far is only part of the equation. The true secret hasn't been unveiled yet. There is a darker layer, something that connects all these details and explains why some men escape the torment of nightly awakenings, while others remain prisoners of fractured nights. And that still isn't the biggest problem. After seeing both the benefits and the hidden risks, we've reached the most delicate part of this journey. Up to now, you've heard how these 3 fruits can calm the bladder, relax muscles, and invite sleep. You've also learned how, when misused, they can betray you. But the darkest truth is this: the boundary between relief and torment is far thinner than most imagine. It's not just about what you consume, but how and when you do it. Many men fall into the trap of thinking that simply adding fruit at night will solve everything. They forget that the body is not a machine with a single switch, but a complex system where every piece influences the whole. Eating the right fruit at the wrong time, or in the wrong context, can wipe out all its benefits. If your mind is restless, if your stomach is weighed down with heavy food, if the glow of your phone still burns in your eyes before bed, no nutrient on earth will save you. It's like trying to extinguish a wildfire with a teaspoon of water. Picture a man who eats his nightly banana faithfully, but also fills his dinner plate with salty foods. The potassium that should balance his body is crushed by sodium overload. The result: his bladder becomes hostage to that imbalance. The banana isn't useless, but it's overwhelmed, a lone soldier abandoned on the battlefield. Another common mistake is the obsession with excess. Some believe that if 1 banana, 1 pear, and a handful of grapes help, then doubling or tripling the dose will guarantee results. But overeating these fruits before bed is a recipe for chaos. Blood sugar surges, the kidneys strain, the bladder rebels. Instead of serenity, the night becomes a parade of awakenings. The supposed cure mutates into poison. Irregularity is another silent enemy. Eating these fruits at different times each night prevents the body from recognizing a consistent rhythm. Your system runs on cycles, the circadian clock. Without consistency, signals are scrambled. The melatonin in grapes fails to align. The tryptophan in bananas is wasted at the wrong time. The pear's water presses on the bladder at the wrong hour. The result? Disorder, fractured sleep, exhausted mornings. But the most insidious enemy is the mind. Have you noticed that anxious nights often mean more trips to the bathroom? That is no coincidence. Stress hormones directly affect the bladder. Mix that with late-night sugar or heavy meals, and the disaster multiplies. The banana cannot conquer cortisol. The pear cannot erase adrenaline. The grape cannot silence a racing mind. Without a ritual to quiet your thoughts, the fruits lose their power. And here lies the darkest contradiction. Even correct choices can become triggers if you ignore the invisible window. That old, forgotten study hinted at it. The secret was not the fruit, but the precise moment it was consumed. The body responds differently inside that fragile 45-60-minute window before bed. Eat earlier, and the benefits are burned away before sleep begins. Eat too late, and digestion itself becomes your enemy. It is a razor's edge. Step to one side or the other, and you fall into the abyss. It's no wonder so many men spend decades imprisoned by nocturia. They try pills, they buy supplements, they experiment blindly, and they fail. Not because the solutions aren't there, but because they can't see the hidden pattern. The body is like a symphony. The right note played at the wrong time ruins the entire piece. Eating the perfect fruit at the wrong moment creates not harmony, but noise. Consider Ernesto, 65, convinced he was doing everything right. He read articles, bought fresh fruit, followed advice from friends. But he ate at random times, in varying amounts, sometimes with wine, sometimes with salty cheese. The result? His nights grew worse. Only when he disciplined himself to respect the invisible window did he find relief. His breakthrough wasn't the fruit. It was obedience to the hidden rule that governs them. And this is what makes the truth so disturbing. Responsibility lies squarely with you. There is no miracle pill, no magic shortcut. The fruits are only tools. The real power is in your discipline, and that is why so many fail. Not because they lack resources, but because they ignore the rule that divides rest from torment. As you think about this, a darker question rises. If fruits as ordinary as these hide such power, what else in your life is secretly shaping your nights? Could it be the lighting in your bedroom, the stress you carry, the wine at dinner, the salt in your food? Each detail, seemingly innocent, may be conspiring against you. Your body is a battlefield, but many of the enemies wear disguises, and this is where the suspense peaks. Because the haunting question is this: is there truly a secret limit? A hidden breaking point that separates those who reclaim their nights from those condemned to remain prisoners of the dark. There is a secret limit that can change everything. Now we've reached the point most people avoid, but you need to hear it. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered hidden benefits, disguised risks, and silent mistakes that turn nights into torment. But the ultimate truth is even more unsettling. There is an invisible window, a secret limit that decides whether these three fruits will be your allies or your enemies, and that limit is time. It's not only what you eat, but when you eat it. Forgotten science, buried testimonies, and suppressed experiments all point to the same conclusion. Between 45 and 60 minutes before bed is the fragile interval when bananas can calm your bladder, pears can hydrate without punishing you, and grapes can release their natural melatonin to align your sleep cycle. That short span is the turning point, the difference between silence and chaos. Respecting it is like turning the right key in the right lock. And here lies the taboo few dare to mention. The very fruit that could give you uninterrupted rest can, at the wrong time, rob you of energy, confuse your mind, and strain your heart. Too late, and digestion itself becomes an enemy. Too early, and the body is left unguarded when the night arrives. The secret doesn't lie in the fruit alone, but in the ritual of discipline. Those who master it reclaim what they thought was lost, nights of calm and restoration. Think back to the examples we've explored. Miguel, Carmen, Rafael. None of them found their solution in expensive treatments or miracle pills. Their transformation came from honoring the hidden rule. When they respected the invisible window, the torment broke. And if you're here, listening now, it's because you too feel the weight. Fractured nights, mornings drained of energy, memory slipping, a heart strained by exhaustion. This isn't just discomfort. It's a warning, whispered by your body, that something must change. Ignoring this warning is dangerous. Every nighttime awakening robs you of deep sleep, the stage where the body repairs, produces hormones, and strengthens immunity. Without it, you accumulate fragility, raise cardiovascular risks, accelerate cognitive decline, and extinguish the spark of vitality that fuels your day. The cost isn't just fatigue. It's your entire health unraveling piece by piece. But there is a way out. And it doesn't depend on costly supplements or complicated regimens. 3 fruits, a simple nighttime ritual, and strict respect for that invisible window can return what you believed was gone. It's not only about sleeping better, it's about protecting your heart, preserving your mind, and reclaiming the energy that still burns inside you. Now you hold in your hands a key that most will never discover. The choice is yours. Will you keep believing that waking multiple times at night is just age? Or will you test the hidden power of these fruits and feel the difference for yourself? I want you to commit right now. Write in the comments, "I choose my peaceful nights." Your words will not only bind you to this decision, but they'll also send a message to other men who still believe that 5 awakenings per night are inevitable. Show them there is another path. Show them that age is not a sentence. Show them that discipline can change destiny. And if this message opened your eyes, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because here, every new video reveals truths most prefer to bury. Truths that may save not only your nights, but your life. Sleeping well is not a luxury. It is your right. And now you know the secret limit that can change everything.